On the 20th of October 2022, Liz Truss resigned as British Prime Minister, only lasting 49 days in office.
That I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
From 2017 to the current period, there have been 5 Prime Ministers.
As fresh leadership,
I will resign.
That there should be a new leader.
That I am resigning.
All this can make British politics seem confusing, where members of Parliament call each other
the Honourable Gentleman,
The Honourable Lady just made...
and where you see scenes like this.
Refer to him as Dodgy Dave.
Beggar.
Shut up a minute!
So, how does British politics really work? The United Kingdom operates under a constitutional monarchy, meaning the UK has a monarch, King Charles, who, while having the title of a king, has a largely ceremonial role which has limited political power. The real power lies with the elected representatives and the UK Parliament, which consists of 2 houses. The House of Commons, where they call each other,
I thank my honourable friend for the...
and the House of Lords, which currently contains 781 unelected officials chosen for their expertise in certain subjects. Laws are drawn up and approved in the House of Commons and then are brought to the House of Lords, who then approve, make amendments or disapprove of laws. These amendments are then sent back to the House of Commons, who then decide whether they will accept the changes, with the bill bouncing back and forth until both sides are happy and it enters British law. While both houses are needed to pass laws, the House of Commons has the most significant role in legislation and can bypass the House of Lords if needed. The UK is a parliamentary democracy where people vote for members of parliament, with the voting process known as the general election, which is held every 5 years, but can be held earlier at the discretion of the Prime Minister. During the general election, there are 650 seats up for grabs in the House of Commons. These seats correspond to 650 constituencies in the UK, where citizens of that constituency vote for an MP, who represents them and their interests in the House of Commons. While various candidates from different political parties can stand to become an MP, the candidate who receives the most votes wins the seat and becomes an MP for that constituency in the House of Commons. And political parties need 326 seats to win a majority in the House of Commons, which allows them to form a government. If this number is not reached, it leads to a hung parliament, and political negotiations can take place to form a coalition with another party.
Conservative and Lib Dem negotiators have arrived at the Cabinet Office again for another round of coalition discussions.
If a coalition is not possible, a minority government can take place, with the leading party forming a government with less than 326 seats, meaning they would need MPs from other parties to vote for bills they seek to pass. Once the MPs are elected and the government is formed, the leader of the winning party becomes the Prime Minister, who elects the cabinet for important roles such as Home Secretary, Foreign Secretary, Chancellor of the Exchequer, and many other roles, who along with the Prime Minister are responsible for making decisions that impact the country. While there are several political parties in the UK, there are 2 parties who have dominated British politics since 1918, the Conservatives and the Labour Party, with 13 Conservative governments and 11 Labour governments since then. The Conservative Party leans towards a more conservative ideology, being more on the right side of the political spectrum, while the Labour Party has more liberal ideologies and is more left-leaning. So when the general election happens, normally the vote for an MP is a proxy for choosing which party you want in power, and thus the person you want as Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, while he talks about his plan...
The UK is made up of 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Each of these countries has its own devolved government, responsible for specific policies such as healthcare, education, and local government. These are known as devolved responsibilities, which have a more regional impact, while issues that have a UK or international impact, remaining the responsibility of the UK Parliament, are known as reserved matters. This type of divide has led to contention between the devolved governments and Parliament, especially with Scotland, who had a referendum to leave the UK.
In response to the referendum question, should Scotland be an independent country, were in favour of no.
The relationship between the UK Parliament and the Scottish Government is still hostile to this day, with claims that the House of Commons is out of touch with the culture and the will of the countries outside of England. British politics can be complex and messy, with scandals popping up every other week.
Hancock admitted breaking the rules after a photo and video emerged of him kissing and embracing an aide.
Prime Minister who has broken the law.
Boris Johnson has dismissed renewed calls for his resignation after an internal report into lockdown parties at Downing Street.
Whatever anyone may say, British politics will always be a little confusing.
Why I said what I said.